Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. What's going on? It is freaking commute time, right? Everyone's favorite time, driving to work. But what makes this even better is it's raining and I'm driving to work, all right? So for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. What I do is occasionally on my 1 hour commute to work, I will do I call this a podcast, because it is, where I just yip, right? Obviously it's a video, so I can post it on YouTube. It's not for, the visual's not too exciting. Obviously you see me driving to work, but it's more so for the audio purposes. So sometimes people, that's a big puddle. It's a big puddle. What a crapshoot. This is going to be a fun commute. But, so people watch this, something to watch when they're running, something to watch if they want to fall asleep, take a nap, something to watch when they're really bored. So anyway, what the heck are we going to talk about? I don't know, but the more and more I think about everything like investing and all that jazz, and 401ks, Roth IRAs. For example, my one friend who's like my age, he's finally getting involved with investing. He asked me the question maybe yesterday, what's better, a Roth IRA, or not a Roth, just an IRA or a taxable account? What's better? And I mean, how do you really answer that question, right? So if he's, say, 42 years old, right? And who knows what else he has, right? We'll just assume not much. What would he prefer? Would he prefer a retirement account or a taxable account, right? Now, my simple response to that was, well, do you want your money locked up to your 59 and a half? Well, I said old. I said, do you want your money locked up to your old? Or do you want your money available to you, right? And that's it. That's the simple response. And that's how, I look at it now. I know it's not the right way to look at it because, yeah, the 401k, the Roth IRA, the tax advantages. Yeah, tax advantages. Yeah, oh, yeah, okay. Okay, tax advantages, but my money is locked up, okay? So that brings me back, way back, just to think about everything. Just think about life, all right? Now, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm looking at, like, my kids' accounts. Like, I have young kids, 9 and 2. I have 529 plans, right? My 9-year-old already hates school. He's hyperactive, ADHD. Yes, he has that. Everyone has that, I know. But he actually has it. No, he's freaking not medicated. God, no. But, I'm not judging anyone that does, because I get it, believe me. But he can't even, he's not for school. And I wasn't either. I was freaking wacko too, right? He can't focus, for a certain amount of time. But, it's just like, what do you do, right? I'm saving for a 529 plan, and he's already like me. He's probably gonna not want to go to freaking college, and it's just like a waste of money. So that's something now I need to think about. But I know, like, people say, oh, but you could roll your 529 into a Roth IRA, which is, okay, that's nice. But, again, that limits him using his money till he's 59 and a half. So if he's 18 years old, he decides he doesn't want to go to school, and he wants to use that money for something else, he has to get penalized again with the freaking penalties. I am so sick of the penalties. And if there's a loophole, please tell me. But to my knowledge, the 529 plan has to be used for educational use. Or I believe you could roll it into a Roth. Which again, I don't care about the tax advantages, you know? I don't. I care about, you know, being smart with your money, being responsible, and why not have it in a taxable account, right? That way you can access your money at any time. So that's how I'm going to raise my kids. That's how I'm going to teach my kids. So now I'm thinking, this whole 529 plan, what am I doing? You know, I put a little money each paycheck to a 529, and should I instead put it in their taxable brokerage, right? And my thinking is yes, I should, but now the problem is my older kid, I've been putting money into his 529, so he has a decent amount. I can't really cut off the 2-year-old. What if he wants to go to school, right? So I kind of have a dilemma of what I need to do. But maybe my son's about to turn 10 soon. Maybe I'll do 10 years old. I'll stop the 529 contributions. I'll let them do whatever they're going to do. And then I'll start putting, I think I do like 50 a paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever. I'll start putting $50 in his taxable brokerage going forward. Which, by the way, is another problem. And what's the problem with that? Well, it's with Merrill Edge. That's the problem. And what's the problem with Merrill Edge? It doesn't let me buy double leverage funds. It doesn't let me buy Bitcoin funds. It lets me buy MSTR, so that's good. But the point is, why are you stopping me from buying anything? Like, it doesn't make any sense. What, you know better than me? You're telling me you know better than what I should do with my money? I just don't understand it. Get with the freaking times, man. And I keep trying and hoping like they're eliminating this, but it's still locked. So again, that's another problem. Brokerage accounts, I'm gonna have to move them. I'm gonna have to move now the brokerage accounts for my children into, I don't know what, and I don't know where. I'll have to think about it, but that's just another thing. Because I wanna give them Bitcoin exposure because they're young, man. And yeah, so should I make a Robinhood account for them so I can buy them Bitcoin directly, right? Just put $50 towards Bitcoin. But then what about the 2-year-old? Do I stop the 529 and just buy Bitcoin? I don't know, man. It's tough. It's super tough, and I don't know what to do. But anyway, point I was getting at too, like, we have to talk about this retirement plan thing. Like, it's something that nobody talks about. Because, again, our kids are going to get older. Maybe your kids are already old, but they're going to go to work. They're going to get a job. You know, should they open the retirement plan? Oh, my God. The 401k, it's such a great benefit. My company has a 401k. Oh, and don't get me wrong. The company match, yes, it's nice. It's very nice. And some companies put even more. Very nice. I like it. Again, what perks are they getting from the retirement brokerage account, like the brokerage company? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. As long as they give me a company match, that's free money in my eyes. So, of course, take advantage of the company match. Man, it is freaking raining. So, baseball gonna be canceled tonight. But I'm all good with that. All right, just gotta move over this. But what the heck was I saying? No, the 401ks, right? So what do we do, man? What do we do with them? Because right now, what I'm doing, well, obviously late in the game here too, I'm doing the company match. I put in whatever I have to get the 100% company match, and that's where it ends, right? Everything else goes into a taxable if I can afford to put any more in a taxable, and that's pretty much it. Now, if I look back, I'm looking at my 401k now, and to be honest, if I had that money in a taxable brokerage, would I be working? Right? That's the question. Would I be working? And to be honest, I don't know that I would be. But at the same time, would I have made it through all of those my younger years and not spent that money? I don't know. I was pretty stupid in my 20s. But that's an ongoing question. But that's, again, what I'm thinking, for my children, I'm just going to try to teach them that having money accessible to you, it to me means much more than saving, a few dollars here on taxes every year, right? If you could build out, because if you're maxing out your 401k, what is that, $20,000? Like, are you kidding me? $20,000? What are you left with? Like, are you nothing? So you're basically like giving in to the corporate freaking chaos or whatever job you have, and you're saying, I'm just gonna work until I can take my 401k money out. And I'm sorry, but that is just, I'm done. It's freaking crap, man. It's freaking crap. So that's how I'm gonna teach my kids. And I'm gonna teach them, like, listen, you don't really need to go to school unless you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, maybe an engineer. Certain jobs require it, right? I don't have a freaking degree. I have a job that requires a degree. So you can get in jobs that say they require a degree, right? And not have one. It's all dependent on the person. If you show, if you could speak decent, if you have, maybe a good job history, things like that, that could get you by. But more importantly, and growing up, you heard the word entrepreneur, and you never really, at least for me, like, you think, all right, that's not me, I can't do that. And it's like, but nobody teaches you crap, and that's the issue. And I don't know, man. But it's just, I don't even know where I'm going with this topic in general. But I'm all over the place with kids, with myself, and everything. But do I regret putting too much money in a 401k? Yes, I do. Because, to be honest, if I get fired tomorrow, the good news is I can I can close out the 401k. I could take the 10% penalty, and I could use what's left over. So that's good, right? That's good. Actually, too, I have a Roth 401. Some of it's pre-tax from the beginning when they didn't have the Roth. But to my knowledge, if I roll that into a Roth IRA, maybe I could use those Roth contributions penalty-free. I don't know. Again, these are just things you don't hope to get fired, but I'm just thinking, like, benefits of leaving your company, retiring early or whatever, is utilizing your 401k early. And is the 10% penalty worth it? I mean, again, penalty. Back to the word freaking penalty. I'm sorry, but anything with a penalty, I'm done with. I am seriously done with. And that's why, and I get the 529 thing. And maybe I'm not, into the whole college thing because I don't have a college degree. But to be honest, colleges are a complete fucking, I almost cursed. If I did, I apologize, but scam. It is a complete ripoff. Overpriced waste of crap. And to be honest, I swear, I don't know. I've seen some college kids, and I feel like they get dumber when they come out. But it's just, I'm not a fan of it. So what am I doing with a 529? So what I should do is help my kids build, right off the bat, build wealth, right? This is their money anyway, right? Well, I am putting extra money in myself, but their money that they get for their birthday, which unfortunately it's not often ever to get to crap. I wish people would just give money, right? In the old days, people gave money, right? Now it's everything's a freaking toy or this and that. But yeah, why not, if you have young kids, help them build wealth. And it doesn't have to be crypto. It could be like Apple, it could be Microsoft, right? But if you invest in a 529, by the way, you are limited on your options. You can only choose from this freaking drop down list. Like, what a joke. What a joke. Come on. I'm just so sick of the limitations. I'm so sick of the penalties. And I know the reason they do that is because people are irresponsible. People don't know. We know better for you, right? And that's the mentality, because it's actually kind of true in a way, because nobody learns it. Nobody is there to teach it for them. Nobody learns about investing. The average person doesn't know what to do, right? The average person probably only has a 401k. They don't have a taxable brokerage. And even if they did, they probably have a guy, right? I was talking to someone the other day. They have a financial advisor, or I don't know what it's called, but there's a person that buys their stocks for them, and they have to pay them. Like, these people, like, it's crazy. And so I think, like, and that's why, honestly, that's why I made this YouTube channel 6, 7, whatever years ago, to try to talk to the average person, to kind of explain investing. You know, the focus was dividend investing always, but you know, to just teach like little things, like how do you open a brokerage account, right? And I'm dying to make my kid, my middle child, I keep saying middle, my older son, I want him to make a YouTube video on my channel to explain how to open a brokerage, and you know, and I'll give him the money, like if that, however much that video makes, I'll put that money into his brokerage. He'll probably want some for V-Bucks or something stupid, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to actually teach him, you know, different things. Like he said, you know, he's interested in creating a YouTube channel, and I'm not against it. I know most parents would say, oh my God, hell no. But I'm not against it. Now, obviously it helps that I kind of understand what the hell I'm doing. But I said, you have to think of something. Like, what do you want to talk about, right? He loves baseball. Okay, there's a lot of kids that make baseball channels. So, you know, but he's been, to be honest, pretty lazy about it. He hasn't really done anything with it. But if he wants to, I'm here, I'm ready. But at the same time, he can help at my channel whenever he wants as well. Again, I'm sorry for being all over the place here today, but I did not plan on even doing a video, but I figured, what the hell. So back to the point of, you know, if you're in your 20s, honestly, if you're a teenager in your 20s, and even your 30s, like, what do you love what you do? Like, do you want to do that till you're 59 and a half, 62, 65? If you do, no problems, right? And you're good, you're set. Me, honestly, I always had the mentality like I'm forced to go to work. I go to work to pay bills, and unfortunately I'm still doing that. Like I need my job to pay bills. I'm trying to get out of that, right? I'm basically scheduling all of my bills to come out of my brokerage account, and nearly almost every single bill except my credit card and my property taxes and my car insurance my car insurance don't come out of my brokerage. Everything else does. So what does that mean? Why am I doing that? Well, guess what? Like I said, if I lose my job, boom, I got my bills covered. So I just got to figure out, well, healthcare is a big problem, right? I got to figure out the health insurance thing, which obviously if I figured that out, I probably wouldn't be working. But you know, I just got to figure out certain things, like how, because you have to replace your salary. You're used to your salary. And again, I'm not saying my freaking health benefits are anything good, but at the same time, you have a family, you got to figure that out right away. But yeah, my point was, you have to think, like, if you actually want to retire early, then, you know, consider, you know, planning that out sooner than later. Like, this is something, like, I should have thought of this way back. Again, I started investing in my, I think, low 30s or something, maybe. And again, do I regret not? Yeah, of course, man. And why didn't I start? I just never looked into it, to be honest. And that's on me for being lazy. But obviously, if you're watching this video and you're a teenager and you're in your 20s, 30s, you know, you're doing pretty good, right? So, but you have to think to yourself, what else can I do to produce income so I don't have to rely on a company to pay me, right? And that's kind of like where I'm at, right? So I started the YouTube channel. I'm now, you know, I'm trying to build up my Twitter appearance. I'm working on that and other things. Again, I want to make an LLC. I'm thinking about doing like what's it called? Like a 30-minute or an hour discussion. Oh my God, I can't even think. Drawing a blank, but like, just to speak to people if they want to talk about investing, right? Coaching sessions. I never would have thought, like, who the hell wants to listen to my ass, right? But it depends. Like, if it's really basic stuff, I could talk about basic stuff, right? I could talk about options. I could talk about how to begin investing. I could talk about 401ks. I could talk about retirement. I pretty much know a lot of the rules and all that. So I'm really, really thinking about that. But obviously I'd have to create like an LLC or something to do that. And I think that would help me maybe advance my early retirement as well. Because again, they say if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life, which again, that's kind of true because I do enjoy this. Like, this is not work to me. This is fun. Like, talking about investing to me is fun. Talking about how to make more money is fun. Talking about or helping people to me is fun. So that's why, again, I'm trying different outlets, YouTube, Twitter, other things. I don't know if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. But I'm really thinking about the coaching thing, and that opens up a whole new can of worms. Again, I would like to kind of speak to others who do it, and because I don't know, maybe it's a little weird to me that people would pay to talk to me, right? And at the same time, I feel a little guilty, right? You feel like you're not worthy of it, right? I don't know, but again, it's just something I'm thinking about. But again, my YouTube is doing well, but it is a lot of work, and I still enjoy it, but it's still growing. And again, so grateful that my YouTube channel is growing. I can't even explain it. Like, I'm living like in a fantasy, because it wasn't that long ago, maybe 5 years ago, I had like 500 subscribers, and I was struggling to get 1,000. Like, I couldn't do it. I would make a video about, like, I compare Coca-Cola to Pepsi, right? What's the better option? Or even I think Dr. Pepper was in that video too. Like, that video did nothing, and I worked my ass off on that video. Like, I worked hard on that video. And then I did another video where I compared the big banks, like the big three: JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I did a lot of freaking research on that. By the way, it's still out there if you want to check it out. Those are my old chalkboard videos. I busted my ass, and you get like no views. But again, I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going. And it wasn't until, like, I think Tesla came out, I'm like, I gotta cover this fund, Well, first I gotta look into it. And then I'm like, I might as well just talk about it. And that's kind of how my channel has done well. So, thankfully, YieldMax, Defiance, a couple others, Round Hill, I started covering them, and since they have all, mainly YieldMax, obviously, since they have been growing, my channel has been growing. So obviously, that helps, their growth helps me, because I'm still covering, right? I kind of switch things around, and I'm mainly focused on Misty now. But to be honest, Misty's like a once in a lifetime thing, man. Like, you can't even, like, explain it. Like, I want to talk so much more about Misty. Like, I do. I'm obsessed now. I'm like, not only just because I cover it, but, like, again, it took me a while. I was always a kind of crypto god, but I'm all for it now, man. As you can see, I was just talking about buying my kids Bitcoin, which obviously, that's something new to me. And I'm willing to put all of their money in Bitcoin, right? All of their money. Maybe not all at once, but you know what I mean? But that's how much I feel, that's how confident I feel about it in general. But yeah, man. So what the heck was I saying? This is the problem when you do a podcast when you're driving, you kind of lose your train of thought. But FYI, I've been doing, on the drive home now, I do a Twitter or X Spaces, and I open it up to the floor, and we talk. We just talk investing. We talk options. We talk YieldMax. So feel free to join those when you see them pop up on my X. I try to send a reminder, but sometimes it's last minute because, again, my life, I never know what the hell I'm doing. There's always something going on, but I'll do my best to give you some advance notice. But again, yeah, for me, I'm just, tugging along, going to work, trying to retire early. That's it, man. If I could retire early, I will. There's nothing that would stop me. The problem is, again, it's not just me and my wife. It's my kids. So I have to obviously, you can't just freaking say, all right, let's try to make YouTube income work, because it's not enough. It's not even close to enough. But again, that's why I have to look into other things, because if I'm able to not have a full-time job, oh my God, I would have a lot of interviews, a lot of podcasts. I don't know what I would do, honestly. I'd have to think about it. That's a lot of time on my hands, because to be honest, there's a lot of fund managers that reach out to me, and they want to either go on my Twitter or my YouTube, and I'm like, I don't have time. Like I made time for Jay and Scott, but I took off of work for that. Unfortunately, I don't have time. I'm not going to take off work for every freaking fund manager. I'll take off for YieldMax because I cover them. I talk about them. But these other ones, man, I don't cover them. I used to cover some, but I don't, especially now, I'm just covering mainly YieldMax. So it doesn't make sense to interview anyone else, really, unfortunately. But if I was off from work, then yeah, I'd be diving deep into different funds, just to see, because we got to see what's out there, man. We got to, it's not all about YieldMax. There are other companies that, have very, very smart people who are, more than capable of doing the same or different strategies. So, again, that's kind of like the future for me, something I look forward to, which, live stream options trading, something like that, or just having that. Oh, what in the hell? Oh, something died. I had to run it over. But yeah, having like even YouTubers on, just shoot the shit, right? Stuff like that. That'd be fun. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself, trying to think of the future. This guy is like trying to pass me in the right lane, but he can't. But where's he going? What's the rush? Where are you going? You rushing to go to work? Like, what? To me, like in this weather, I just chill. Even when it's not raining, I'm not rushing to work. I'm taking my sweet ass time. That's it. What am I gonna do? Rush to work to what? Sit down to work? No. I get there. When you get there, you get home when you get home, right? That's kind of how it is. Let's relax, people. Because people, man, they are driving recklessly. And it's just sad. You see accidents every day. But I don't know. I know I'm rambling again. But this is, the podcast, or whatever we call this. The car cast, the commute podcast, the retire on dividends car commute podcast. This is where, again, we just yip yap, and I just kind of talk about things that I can't talk about on the video because there's no time for it. But yeah, man, I'm still working, obviously, full-time job, and I don't hate my job. It's just a lot, man. You spend, with driving 10 hours a freaking day, where like come summertime, I'd rather be like at the beach with my kids, to be honest, right? So it's like, if I was a teacher, I don't know, it'd probably be a little different. But obviously other jobs, you have to work around the whole year, and they give you certain vacation time. So, and you can't just take off the whole summer. You don't get that much vacation time, but you try to save it for the summer. But yeah, that's why I want to be off. I mean, if I could just be off summers, if my job would be okay with that. Obviously they won't be, but you know what I mean. Like, maybe it's a little different, but, or if I could work part-time, that's something I would always consider too. Like, but again, back to the benefits thing, I have to think about that. I don't know. Have you guys, any of you watching this right now, kind of in my boat? Are you at a point where you're too young to retire, quote unquote, but you can, and you're scared to? And if so, like, what's stopping you? Is it health insurance? Is it because you have young children? And if so, like, if you're in the same boat as me, what do we do? How do we make this happen? Like, that's the question. And I get a lot of comments. They pretty much say, like, I am you. Like, we're in the same exact position. So we got to get together, man, and we got to talk about this. So how the hell do we retire early? Again, I'm not saying we hate our jobs. We just want to break, man. You know, we just want to spend time with our family more, right? We want to spend time. We want to sleep in a little too, man. Don't forget about that. Like, most of us probably aren't sleeping that much because we're so damn busy all the damn time. Like, our weekends are filled with doing housework, yard work, this, that, the other thing, running errands, sports. You know, there's no time. So it's just tough, man. It is tough. But again, why do I want to retire early? Because I want my time at this age, not when I'm freaking 65. My kids are gonna be, where are your kids gonna be? Who the hell knows? Am I gonna be healthy? Probably not. I hope I am, but who knows? That's why I want my time now. That's why I want to retire now. Not because I'm a lazy bastard. I've been working my ass off probably since I was 12. I started babysitting. Then I was a camp counselor at 14, right? And then I wasn't allowed to work, at least at the supermarket, until I was 16. And then I worked 2 jobs forever until I was like 30 or 20 something. And you know, here I am at the same job for 18 years. But all I know is work. That's all I know. So now what I want to know is how to not work, how to make money other ways. And again, I started that. I kind of did YouTube. So if you guys may do other things too. And like I said, I'm thinking about other things as well. I gotta stop being. Again, I'm still lazy in certain ways. Like I gotta start doing other things, like expanding my horizon. What else can I do that I can make more money? That way, you know, spend more time. You know, have more free time. Like here I go. What? Driving an hour, sitting an hour in a car, work 8 hours, and drive home an hour. When, you know, think of how much you can get done in that time frame, right? I know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but I don't know. I kind of ranted, and I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore, but let me know if you guys enjoy this video. None of it's financial advice. I don't even think I talked about investing much. But obviously I'm not a financial advisor, and these videos are always for fun and entertainment. But if you have a specific topic for another Commute podcast, let me know. You can let me know in the comments. You could tag me on Discord, let me know. Or, I don't know, let me know on X. You can reach out to me on X and go from there. My tag on X is retire on dividend, no D. All right? So I hope to talk to you all soon. If you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword, right? What's the freaking keyword? I don't know. How about this? How about screw the 529? How about that? Because that's really how I'm thinking nowadays. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in down below, screw the 529 plan. I'm done with it all, you know? I'm done with it. I'm done with anything that tells me you can't touch it to this. You can only invest in this. I'm done with it. I need freedom with my money, my children's money, my money. Unfortunately, my 401k, yes, it's locked in. Nothing I could do unless I leave my company, then I could take it out. Penalty. I got to pay my 10% penalty. Where does that go? Who the hell knows? Someone gets it. It ain't me. But again, I could talk about this all day, and we got to have a Twitter Spaces on this one day. I want to hear other people's thoughts, because it is something that needs to be talked about all of the time. All right, I'm done yip yapping. Again, I know I don't even know what I'm gonna call this freaking video. But thank you for watching. and have a great day.